She walked away from him on a wet, grey Tuesday. No farewell, no explanation, just a bassinet left outside my office door. Inside lay our newborn son, wrapped in a blanket faintly scented with her perfume. I stood there, rain dripping from my coat, staring at his tiny fist curling into the air. Tucked in with him was a single folded slip of paper containing only 3 words. He's your problem. That moment was the end of me as a husband, and the beginning of something entirely different. 2 days later, her parents arrived at my apartment. They didn't ask about the baby's health. They didn't offer a hand or a dime. They just stood there, silk scarves, gold watches, eyes like polished blades. "She's gone," her mother said, her tone flat as stone. "We don't know where. He's your responsibility now. Don't contact us." Before I could respond, they turned and left. And for the next 10 years, they stayed gone. In that decade, I raised my son by myself. I made his breakfast every morning, walked him to school, taught him to balance on 2 wheels, to fix a dripping faucet, to knot his first tie. We built something together, something they never believed I could give him. They weren't there for the nights I worked until my eyes burned just to keep the rent paid. They didn't see me sitting beside his bed through fevers, counting every breath. They didn't watch him grow into a bright, stubborn, unstoppable kid. They missed all of it, until they decided they wanted him. The notice came in a crisp cream envelope. Petition for custody. The accusations inside were cold and deliberate, that I had maliciously kept them from their grandson, poisoned him against them, and that I was an unfit influence. I set the papers down calmly, because I knew something they didn't. The night she disappeared, I hadn't just found that note. I'd also found her phone, still logged into every account. I didn't go through it immediately. Anger burns too hot for clear thought. Revenge, however, is best served cold. Over the next 6 months, I archived everything. Emails, bank transfers, messages to contacts saved only by first initials. I tracked hotel reservations, cash withdrawals, one-way flights. I learned she hadn't run out of desperation. She'd run away with someone else. Someone with a criminal record. Someone her parents had quietly paid off more than once. Her mother's name was on those transfers. Her father's voice was on a recording, instructing someone to make sure the problem goes away. The problem was me. Year by year, I assembled the file. When I could finally afford an attorney, I handed him a copy with one instruction: keep it sealed until I said otherwise. Now, sitting in that courtroom, I faced her parents, impeccably dressed, flanked by expensive lawyers. My son was just down the hall in the waiting area, drawing superheroes without a clue of what was happening. Their attorney painted me as a bitter man clinging to his child out of spite. I let him. Speeches don't matter when you've already secured the win. When my turn came, I stood, reached into my briefcase, and slid the sealed folder across the bench to the judge. Years of work in one heavy package. He opened it, scanning page after page. By the 3rd sheet, his eyebrows were raised. He leaned back, looked at me, and asked quietly, "Do they even know what you have?" I nodded once. The next 10 minutes passed in silence except for the sound of paper turning. Finally he spoke, his voice lower now. "This is extremely troubling." Her parents shifted in their seats. Her mother's hand tightened around her pearls. The judge turned to their lawyer. "I strongly suggest your clients reconsider. Continuing this could result in severe legal repercussions." Her father bent toward her mother, whispering sharply. She shook her head. The judge's stare cut through them like glass. "Do you wish to proceed?" They didn't answer right away. Finally, her father muttered, "We withdraw." The courtroom emptied quickly. Their lawyers avoided my eyes. Her parents walked past me in silence, but her mother glanced at the folder in my hand as though it might explode. It already had, just not in the way she imagined. Outside, my son came running, proudly showing me his drawing. "It's us," he said. In the picture, I wore a cape. We walked to the car. I buckled him in, started the engine. In the rearview mirror, I saw them across the lot, pale and still. They knew it wasn't finished. I still had every copy, every page. And I had never promised to stay quiet. People think revenge is fueled by fury. It's not. It's about patience, about letting your enemies step neatly into the snare you set years before. They left a baby at my door and told me he was my burden. They were right. But they never understood. He was also my purpose. And now, he was mine forever.